come on.
Okay.
So let me try to get around to showing you a couple things. So what we're going to do tonight, because we're going to do this over 2 nights, and I'll have it. We're talking more now. We're getting the offer prep and offer generation. So that's what we're going to do pretty much tonight and tomorrow night. But let me go ahead and show you that change that I made, that I sent you that screenshot on while you're on, and then when everybody else comes on, we can go. So you got the interface, right? And this hasn't changed, except that I put the deploy Delta Suite protocol for your market. So that's a pretty cool button. The one that I talked to you about this morning is called Build My Distressed Deal Playbook. We've always had that. All three of these, set up or update my BuyBox, deploy Delta Sweep, is these are like if people have already started, like you've already started, you want to click on really all three of these. But this is cool. Let me show you this one. And that way we got some other people coming on. So this is actually the that button. What you go into, it starts getting into operating doctrine. So I'll run you through this, and then you can just pull it up on your own and go through it on your own pace. But you got the core operating, you get into BuyBox and the distress signals, and this is awesome. So it gets into all that, value support, the contact path, and we talk about intel, qualification, outreach, offer, contract, and close. So the process is you get into this right here, right? The operator sequence. Already what we've been talking about: distress intelligence, deal analysis, and the MRA, ARV comp validation, skip tracing. Then we get into Rehab scope of work comms, the dialers and VA operations, TC stuff, and then learning loops. So it's pretty cool. So what you can do now, rather than is come down here and get into BuyBox. You've already done your BuyBox probably, but you want to review this one. And if you've already done your BuyBox and your markets and stuff, there's some stuff in this one that'll apply that you can add into it. There's some stuff in the Delta Suite protocol, which is the other button, and I'll go over that one in a minute with you while we're waiting to see, who else joins us. But this is
Yeah.
great. We get into the markets, you get your asset types and your strategy. So everything here is just really follow along. If you follow along, it's just like really good, really good. So this is kind of cool. You get all this information, and you get down here to the stress intelligence engine. So it walks you through all this process. You're looking at 3 to 5 local sources. If you're looking at Harris and Dallas and Tarrant, you've got three obviously busy markets. So you can go down there and use this for distress intelligence, and it also gives you a source map. So it tells you what agency, what HJ, what use case for everything: tax delinquency, which one foreclosure. It walks you through the whole process: who covers vacancy, who covers code violations, all that, liens, permits, all that. Then you guys get into signal stacking. So it starts talking about one signal, and then you get into 2 or 3. And so everybody's like, well, this is kind of foreign. We do all this. Somebody said we do a lot of this analysis, and it's a lot more information. But the beauty of this is it kind of stacks behind you when you're generating leads. So if you're using a VA, like you said you were using a VA, they can go out there and start getting all this information and make the calls. You have better information. You have 2 or 3 sources sometimes, which is better. So you get more information, more intelligence to actually, when you make the call, they make the call or whatever. That helps you. It does help you manage. It helps you get a lot more information. It's pretty cool that way. And then it scores everything. So like I said, I'm not going to go through line by line. You guys, hey Neil, what's up? You guys can go through on your own and kind of your own pace. But what you want to do is get down in here, and I'm just going to show you the 20 sections, and I'll do the Delta sweep, and then I'll show you guys what we're going to do tonight a little bit. I'm going to show you guys the deal desk thing, property fact verification. That's cool. It gives you this is all the information that you're going to ever need on a property. So you guys can build this, and you can build this in a project over here, and just copy and paste this, and then it's kind of cool. Then you start getting that's all the information you can get, just a ton of information. Then you get into the comp sweep. So this thing will actually run comps now at the same time. So when you're getting that list of of the foreclosures, you will also get the comps. Now it'll start running the comps on the ones that meet your buy box. So, you want to set your BuyBox up accurate because you get 150, or yeah, 30 might work for your BuyBox. And it's going to pull them. It's going to start your ARV process. That's cool. So then you guys get an ARV output form, and this is ARV, all the information you have for this. So keep in mind, I mean, you may like it's all here, but it's once you start processing the deal and putting the information in, putting the NEDs in, the documents and all that stuff, all the foreclosure stuff, this will start populating. It gives you a maintenance, and then you get a deal analysis path. So like I said, this is really cool. And then it gets into here you go. This is great. So this is deal analysis. It'll talk to you about flipping. What do you do with this property for Burr? Will it work for Burr rental? Innovation, listing referral, creative finance. If you got to pass and recycle, and it goes through all the criteria. And now you get into offer logic. So we start talking about generating the offers. Offer, max level offer. Here's the formula. You got your flip project logic. So everything for flipping. Then you got rental burn logic, and it goes through all the criteria. Everything here has a criteria. Repair and rehab, it talks to you about light, medium, or heavy, top down, major redevelopment. It gives you all the parameters. And you give me your scope of work template. And it tells you all the items you need, the majority of the major items for rehab and scope of work. And then you guys get into 11, skip trace readiness. It's awesome. So you trace when BuyBox fit is confirmed. You get the priority score. It's going to score everything. The higher score, the better. Property facts are verified, and your basic value logic supports opportunity, outreach compliant path. And then it gives you a rating on skip trace. It's going to say tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. It's pretty sweet that way. And then you guys get into contact. Here's your contact confidence. So if you get into, if you get into level 3, strong multi-source mobile validation and logical association, this helps with your VAs and all that, your contact, your outreach. It's going to tell you what priority, if you have a weak landline or low corroboration last. So everything now is going to give you like a priority. You can hand your VA like 100 foreclosure filings. Let's say, people might want more than that or whatever, but out of that, it's going to tell you which ones to do first, which one has a higher. It's kind of telling you, making decisions kind of for you. Once you train, and you do train it up a little bit. You got outreach governance. Then it gets into outreach messaging. It's pretty sweet. Like I said, come back in here on your own, on your own, and kind of look around and see it. You get your first touch SMS for texting. Here's a quick little script. You got a first touch call opener, direct mail. If anybody uses direct mail anymore, I don't think anybody really. I don't know. It's really risky. Conversation state system, and you guys get into your CRM pipeline. It's pretty sweet on that, and CRM. It's got all the fields. Keep in mind, if you guys see something missing or you want to change something, you can do it on your own. It's pretty easy to do. KPI, all your KPIs. Then you guys get into your weekly operating cadence. It tells you what you should do Monday, what to do Tuesday, what to do Wednesday, what to do Thursday, Friday, and what to do on the weekend. It's pretty sweet that way. So it kind of gives you a whole schedule. And you can change things around to meet your schedule. It tells you for 5 days plus the weekend. Some people like to do, still like to take a day off for now and then. You can anything that's in RCIC, you guys can change on your own. And you get your deal file template. So you guys can actually start making even projects for that and start putting your deal file. You copy and paste, set up a project. Then you guys can go ahead and you can play with it. If there's things that you want to change, or you call it something else, It's up to you. You don't have to depend on me for that. And you get all this information. Then it's going to give you all the risk flags for legal title, for valuation, for rehab risks, your outreach and compliance, do not call registry, uncertainty, all that. There's all your deal structure, assignment legality, novation, seller finance, subject to risk, buyer demand unproven, contract deadlines. And then it gives you the 7-day launch plan. So like if somebody was to start today, what do you do today? What do you do tomorrow? What do you do for the first 7 days? This is what I was talking about to you this morning, Reginald. If you when people do like 7 days, like it doesn't take You go in there for an hour, maybe the first day, maybe each additional day of the 7 days is 30 minutes or so just to go in here and pull the stuff that you guys are already pulling anyway. And then you guys get all the way through that outreach and review. Then there's a field checklist before outreach. It gives you the whole checklist. You guys can copy and paste this. So you can save it as a PDF. Here's everything before offer. Then it gives you a bottom line operating standard. So it says the buy box is 7 days, but it means like an hour, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. It doesn't. So, then about 4 to 8 hours per market. Some people could do it an hour. Some people might take more. It's up to you. It's how you want to do it. Everything in RCIC is how you want to do it. And then you guys go your first functional pipeline target is you want to have 20 normalized leads, the top 5 priority list, and 3 to 5 outreach ready opportunities. So, like I said, that's the distress the deal playbook. Let's go. We got Scott's on, Don's on, and Neil as well as Reginald. Hey guys, what's up? Hey Don, Neil, Scott, what's going on, guys? Anything new? Before I start the next part, I'm just showing you guys some navigation tonight and tomorrow night on some stuff. Tomorrow night we're gonna really dig into our, to offer generation and stuff and where to go now, because we've talked over the last couple of weeks about AHJs, about the Delta Sweep stuff to generate your guys' leads and how to set up BuyBox and comps, those 7 projects. Now it goes into more projects. Actually, there was 12 steps. I decided not to call it 12 steps because I think there's another program that involves 12 steps. But it's pretty, there are about, we can add a couple to make that work. So that's what we're going to go over tonight a little bit. I want to kind of show you guys a couple before we jump over to that. And then I'll show you guys the deal desk app. Pretty sweet. So let me get over here. Oh yeah, I actually set up a backup. I set up 3 backups just to make sure we always have core. So when you guys are in the RCIC Core, you guys have already done your BuyBox. The other one you guys can do is to deploy the Delta Suite. So that one that I just showed you guys is navigation on if you're just brand new and haven't done anything. But if you guys have already done your BuyBox and your markets and you already set up your projects for those, you can start with the Delta Sweep. Delta Sweep is a term that OpenAI calls it for all their sweeps, no matter what you do, what industry, whatever it is. I just said it called Delta Sweep Protocol. So this is your market development framework. And so the Delta Sweep is actually what you guys can deploy. Let me just scan through it real quick, and then I'll move back up and show you line by line. But you guys have a market source map, right? It's going to give you everything for the source, who controls it, what you're looking for. It gives you acquisition signals, guys. So, whether it's an assessor, the treasurer tax collector, what do they look for? You're out there looking for unrenamed mailing address, property facts. All this is kind of helps you guys with skip tracing, believe it or not. Not just generating everything on the leads, but this tells you where a lot of stuff might be, what agencies might have it. You think about the treasurer and tax. And what you guys want to think is you don't have to do all this all the time. You guys can automate this. But because you're not always going to be out there looking for, vacancies or code violations. I mean, I'm telling everybody, go after the low-hanging fruit. That's foreclosure filings, actual filings, NEDs, NODs, all that list pendants. The actual filings, go after the low-hanging fruit. Guys, we had 118,000 foreclosure filings nationally in the first quarter this year. We'll have second quarter, probably about mid-July. I'm going to say right now, it's looking like we're probably going to be around the same amount. So you guys start talking about 450 to 500,000 foreclosure filings a year. And then the more we execute these Delta Sweeps, guys, you guys can capture them. And the other thing is if you guys are out there capturing stuff that's not in markets you want to work, like, originally you're in, Harris and Dallas and Tarrant, things like that. If you guys are, you guys can then, hand them off to other people in the group. But my goal is to have by the end of this year, hopefully the third quarter, by the end of, sometime mid third quarter, as our group can go out there with, everybody's out there executing their Delta Sweeps and their BuyBox and, generating all these sweeps. We can start taking all the quality leads. Guys, go after low hanging fruit. That builds your pipeline, that builds your business, it builds everything. then go after, the stuff that's a little bit higher hanging. If you go up to the pre-foreclosures, and we got the tool. I'm going to show you guys a thing that the most recent app I built. I kind of consolidated a few of them, so I have a bundle. A lot of people need a lot of people want to have standalones because maybe you're not into, somebody's not into glamping, or somebody's not doing multifamily, or somebody's not doing storage. You don't need all those tools, but if you like Intel mine, or you like Market Dominator, if you're a wholesaler, those might work better for you than something that's going to have all the Capital Passport. Because if you're a wholesaler and stuff, you're probably not going to need Capital Passport, which we're actually going to go over that tomorrow night. So tomorrow night will be Capital Passport, lender matching, and all that stuff. I know you guys have been waiting, so we're going all in tomorrow night on that stuff to show you guys Capital Passport and all that. And anybody that wants it, I do have the Excel that I can send you guys of the database, which has 1,383 lenders and funding sources. And we get them from the Family Offices Club. We got it from the National Private Lenders Association, American Private Lenders Association, and literally 9 years of collecting them. So they're all vetted and curated. The only downside to the Excel is that it doesn't have what Capital Passport on the app and RCIC Systems has, the cleaner tool module that connects to it, and the discovery. Cleaner means you can go in and you can clean the databases that are in those apps. Discovery means you can go find more. So that way you can just update them yourself. And everybody here, you guys can have Capital. You can download anything you want. Any of the apps, any of the systems and platforms, they're all in the zip files in the Facebook groups. So all you need is Netlify and Anthropic. A lot of people who have Anthropic, it tells you how to go set up your key. I put in $50. I've only used $11. I put that in first part of May when I started doing Anthropic. And you don't set it on auto renew. If you guys really want to go out there and just blow shit up, use RCIC Core here in GPT and use the Anthropic stuff, Market Dominator, Intel Mine. And what I'm going to show you guys tonight, because you guys will actually be able to go out there, and a lot of times when you get stuck a little bit on skip tracing, maybe you get 90% of it with Core. A lot of times you'll get 100%, but if you do get stuck, you can go to Anthropic. Here's why: OpenAI does not like the word scrape, but Anthropic's like mine all the way to China, come out the other side, we don't care. You guys know there's like huge differences between Anthropic and OpenAI. Both of them are going to have $1 trillion IPOs this year, so they'll be right up there with SpaceX, which is kind of cool. Then you guys get into your ad city and HGA sources. So like what I was talking about today originally with you on, and for anybody, you guys got the market guides. So the market guides could be, we try to start with the county and zip code. Try as much as you guys can to use city and county and zip code. But if you guys go in, like you have one for Maricopa County, Arizona, and it's on the market guide, it's going to have all this stuff. It's going to map all this for you already in that market guide that I made for you. Then take it and put it here in your ad photos and files and photos. Do that in your markets project. You guys know I should have a markets, my market or markets, whatever you call it, after BuyBox and projects. Go over and ask it. Now I want to run it in, what is it, Tucson? It's like Pima County. I'm trying to think, is it Pima or Pina? I think it's Pima County. So let's say you want to do Tucson now, Pima County. Let's say you want to do Clark County, Nevada. Just ask it to rinse and repeat, guys. You go in there and then it's going to map out everything that's in Clark County, Nevada. And it's going to give you all the HJs. It's going to tell you, like in Colorado, we have Rule 120. If you were, it's going to tell you all the rules. It's going to give you all those off ramps, all those links to those HJs. So you can go to Clark County and you can pull their foreclosure search. It's going to give you all those avenues. And what you guys want to do is you want to go there and get those listings, have them start coming to you in the Delta sweeps. When the Delta sweep will send them to you, then you start putting them into those projects, and then you start deploying more Delta sweeps. And basically, as everybody talks about, that's where you start ginning up a lot more. You go from 10 foreclosures to 100 pretty quick filings, and you get the low-hanging fruit while you're building everything that takes a little longer to build. So when you guys get your public source distress signals, and like I said, it's going to go through the starting, primary signals: tax delinquency, foreclosure, probate, code violations, eviction filings, vacant properties, open expired permits, nuisance, unsafe structure. Guess what you really want to focus on? Foreclosure, probate, and then some people like tax delinquency. You start getting into like evictions, code violations, and all that. It's not low hanging fruit, guys. There's a lot more work to do. So go out there and try to get the stuff that's first. Make it high priority. Obviously, foreclosures should be very high, but you guys, this will give you what the what your priority is and why it matters. The urgency and possible equity pressure are high, and this will always be foreclosure and notice of defaults will be to the county recorders, the county, the court sometimes, and a public trustee. You guys get into obviously in a probate, you got court clerks. You guys get into tax delinquency, the treasurer, and the tax collector. It's going to tell you exactly where to go. So you guys want to do identify 3 sources, attempt to access. That sounds good. The market guides. You get Maricopa, you get Pima, you get Clark County, things like that. Start, when you're first, in that first 7 days we're talking about, go ahead and hit all those counties up to foreclosure, save them as bookmarks. But you're always going to work it in GPT. It's just that, that way you guys can go back and forth when you need, you need stuff in there. You build up, you start training it, you start getting used to it. It starts getting used to you going to the same places over and over again. It's going to train that over, like I said, the first 30 days. Everybody that's on right now has been at over 30 days. But like I said, this is a great tool if you've already done BuyBox and markets, and you can go in here and build on to what you've done, or you can use that distress the deal playbook. Then you guys get into the secondary, your stacking signals, and here you guys go. Here's your Delta Sleep scoring models. It's going to give you points. So it's a 100-point prioritization. And you guys can, like I said, you can go on your own time and kind of see what this is, how this points out. When you guys get into priority bands, when you're 80 to 100 Delta A, it's awesome. You get into 60 to 79, more verification before skip tracing. So anything you get into Delta A, you get into 80 to 100 on the score, it's it's going to be looks like a solid deal. And then skip trace doctrine recommends proceeding only after property intake and qualification. Wayne County zip BuyBox fit, distress indicator, property type, ownership review. Then it's getting your acquisition pass. There's different paths for tax delinquency. Foreclosure has a different path. You guys go in here and look at what you do, and go ahead and you can start looking at what start going through probate if that's what you like. Code violation, it tells you everything you know about code violation stuff. Vacancies, pretty cool on that. It tells you how to do vacancy, eviction, and landlord stress. Yeah, and it gets the data table, guys. Everything. It tells you, it gives like all the definitions, what the county is, what the city's zip code, APN parcel number. It gives you all that. It's going to help you build everything. Then you guys get in your operator workflow, data pulls. You start pulling like 100 records. Then you start pulling 500 and 1,000, and your VA is pretty happy, and you're pretty happy. Signal stacking. You guys get your property fact verification, your comp sweep. Like I said, this is going to start pulling comps for you right away. You can have it done on a second pass. Meaning the first pass, it's going to say, here's 100 foreclosure filings. It's going to pare those down real quick to what's in your market and what meets your BuyBox. Your second pass will then go back and you can do comps. It'll pull comps. It'll start market reality assessment. It'll start initiating ARV. And then after all that, then it goes back for a third sweep, and you basically starts running skip tracing. You can automate that. Like you can follow that 7-day plan, guys, that's in there and distress the deal. If you started today, by July 4th, you guys are going to be rocking and rolling. It's pretty cool. It happens pretty fast. You get your skip trace readiness. It's pretty sweet. So then it gives you a lot of stuff. You can just go through here and you guys can kind of, like I said, just go ahead and play. It's going to talk about your first 72 hours. Everybody here's been a while already, so just kind of review this and see if there's anything you need to do, or and then you get your first 7 days. You guys have already been here, see if there's anything you need to do. You should get it to start pulling 100 leads, to score it, and then start skip tracing, and then you start your outreach and all. That's pretty cool. So you guys can do this at the end of this. At the very end of this Delta sweep, it's going to say, send me your city, county, and state, and I'll turn this into a localized Delta sweep map with the likely portals, HJ ops, and source priority and first pick operator task board. Once it does that, then you can actually say deploy it. And you guys then want to use here, go to your plus, there's add anything, right? You can also then go to your, to agent mode. And it's pretty cool. You got your standard and all that. You can go to agent mode and you can start deploying your agents. It's pretty sweet that way. So that is the Delta sweep that's in the interface as well. So what we're doing tonight, guys, like I said, let's get back to that real quick. And then I'm going to show you guys this deal desk app. So tomorrow night, we're going to start breaking into the next phase, what we've been talking about for a while. And like I said, if you guys aren't able to make it, I will have the recording out Friday morning. You guys will have some extra time to look at it because we won't be meeting again, except for next week's special session over, it's energy, that kind of stuff. We'll talk about it later. We might talk more about it tomorrow night. So you guys want to think about tomorrow night, we're going to do core workflow. You guys know the last couple of weeks, we've already talked about BuyBox. We've talked about markets, deal analysis, comps, market reality assessment, rehab scope of work, ARV. Tomorrow night, we're going to start offer prep, offer generation, where you find those resources, capital passport, lender mode, transaction management, and closing table. So when you guys go back to core now, you guys go to change RCIC mode, right? You guys got switched to. Here's your modes. You guys, this is where you guys want to go to lender mode and TC mode. Lender mode, you guys remember it's always like it explains it right here what these modes are. So you guys know if you go in there. I made sure that you guys can do this at 2 o'clock in the morning if you want to know tax lane, Lexington tax lane. Learning mode is awesome, guys. Go to learning mode as much as you can. Education, glossary, training plans, concept breakdowns. It'll teach you anything and everything. But what you guys want to remember the commands. There's only 2 commands. Switch to wherever you want to go, and then the other one is return to default. You can switch to, if you're in lender, you can say switch to TC, guys. It doesn't hold you up at all. Nobody's blocked from anything because people have asked me, well, can I be in agent mode if I'm not a real estate agent? Guys, this is yours. You own this. You do what you want. You go where you want. Those are just the 2 commands in this switch to and return to default. If you ever get stuck though, you can just pretty much just go find something else to click on and then go back and reopen it. You have to reopen it, but keep in mind projects save. Projects are permanent. Chats are not. Chats will sometimes save. You guys can see I have a whole bunch of chats down here. But you're better off just putting everything in projects. So all the stuff we're talking about, lender mode, all that stuff in that list that we're going to cover tomorrow night, you guys already have those 7, should have those 7 projects. You want to get the rest of those projects. I'll hit those one more time before I show you this deal desk app. So you're in lender mode, guys. When you start doing anything with capital passport, anything with lenders, you want to come over here and start because it's going to start helping run everything for you. You guys got a lender review intake. You put all the numbers in here. You guys go and just copy and paste that, put it in here, set up your lender mode over here in capital. You can start factoring all the numbers. It'll start guiding you. It'll start helping you structure the deal, structure the financing. So that's pretty cool. So what you guys also want to do is we have, like I said, I will give it to you guys. So if you guys want it, it's called the Combined Capital Sources of Lenders. And I will send this to you it's on Excel. This is actually in all those apps where I showed you guys where it looks like a catalog. So review for you guys. So this is kind of cool, guys. And like I said, I can send this to you guys or it's already in there. So let's see if it pulls it up. It should pull it up. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that Excel will actually pull up and there you guys go right there. So it's kind of cool. It's going to show you a lot of stuff. So you guys can download. This is a pretty cool table, guys. You guys see it? It's 1,383. It's pretty sweet. You get down here to 1,382 actually, but that's pretty good. And like I said, let me show you real quick on that. I'm trying to get out of here real quick. I'm gonna stop share. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull up. See if I got it. No, let me go ahead and. So I already saved it, but I need to make sure I can still work. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead here and save that. I'll show you guys a couple things in this real quick, and then that will fly. So you guys know this is not fine. I'll show you guys the deal desk, but let me show you guys something else that's kind of cool. The capital, what we talked about. You guys can see all the stuff I've built. It's pretty extensive. I got 3 pages of these now. So let me pull up. I can move it a little bit. Okay, guys, can you see it? There you go. There's Capital Intelligence Database. So this is the app, guys, and there's if you guys see the banana or you see a light bulb, you can change between dark and white and dark and light. So this has your lender database, the one I just showed you guys, all the capital sources. So you guys like this, right? I mean, you can totally see all these lenders and stuff. So I have add-ons. One's for cleaner, and one's called basically discovery. So cleaner one can plug into this one. It can help you clean these because obviously 1,382. These could be out of business today, right?
Nate,
Websites. So it's pretty sweet. Let me go ahead. Is anybody ask some questions in chat? Okay, so yeah, so you guys can go and you got their website, so you can click on all that. When you guys start factoring this stuff in, you guys will be able to go through. Here's your deal analyzer, so you guys can start putting all your money, all your numbers and stuff in the deal analyzer. And it does DSCR, cash on cash. It figures all that. You get run full analysis. Remember, this does take Anthropic API. So your same API key work for everything. Yeah, is somebody asking a question?
Nate, that was Don for a question. So with this capital passport, right? So if you find the deal and you get everything, all the paperwork legal and ready to go, we'll then submit that deal into this system, and then it'll match us with a buyer, or it'll just calculate what the number should be.
It'll calculate the numbers, and it's actually once it's actually got the API running, and there's an operator guide. So you guys we want to get the operator guide, and I can I can show you that too. And that it's pretty detailed. It's 10 or 15 pages. I have a PDF, and then I also have one of these, like a website where you can go through it. You start putting all the numbers in the deal analysis and stuff. You run the deal analysis. It'll start pulling up all the matches.
Okay, so once it pulls all the matches up, and then your 1,800 different funders and capital people, how would those get utilized once this capital passport system is put in place? Would then you email all those people saying you have a deal that has this
Yeah,
potential profit?
because it won't. So neither of the AI companies will allow the system to email it for you. You still
Well,
have
yeah,
to.
I know, but I'm saying, but
Yeah,
in
yeah,
theoretically,
yeah. So you go to your capital sources, your lender database, and let's say it's American United Capital here, or it's Highline Financial Group. once you go through it tells you if it's hard money, bridge, whatever it is. You guys will, it's pretty cool that way. It'll start pulling out which ones are going to match, and then it'll give you the guidance on, you can go to their website, and it'll help you show you how to make contact to that.
Okay, but even still, once you have your contract in your hand for your assignment or whatever it is, you can then go to one of these different sections right here and submit your deal to these people, or you'll submit your deal to the email that's connected to these links.
Well, each company could be different. It's on,
Right.
yeah. So obviously, there's some companies that have like a portal, and some companies don't. You can just, it gives you how to contact them, and all that. Because you remember, a lot of these are databases we've acquired. They're not necessarily ones that we have relationships with. We have relationships. There's even some people in the group, like Michael Conklin. There's a few other people. Willie has a lot of connections. There's probably a dozen people in the group that we can connect people with. We try to get them on. Some other people like John Paul and Julian Burka. And I don't know if that's how I correctly pronounce her name. There's a few other people in the group that we actually know. So most of these are not going to know RCIC. Per se, because we acquired these through NPLA, National Private Lenders Association, American Association of Private Lenders. Found out we acquired a lot of these, and then we developed them. So these are pretty significant. We actually have a total of 19,000, but about 17,000 of them are pension fund, endowment funds, and all that. So it's going to guide you through it. It's going to help you build it. You might end up with 10 or 12 lenders, and you can hit those lenders. It's pretty cool that way.
But even besides the lenders, like you have direct buyers in this list also that just buy fix and flips or whatnot, or is it something totally separate?
This is kind of separate. I do have something I built called buyers and sellers, and all the
Okay.
systems, Market Dominator, Intel Mine. Intel Mine's great because you can actually go out there, and it'll actually, and it's one of those tools as well. I can show that to you guys. That one will actually go out there, and you can literally, it kind of cross references, and you can go out there and you can hit all these. It'll go to social media. It'll start pulling up all of the. It's pretty cool. Let me actually go to. Let me finish this one real quick.
I don't want to take you off topic, but let me ask you one more question. So if you did have a deal and you came to this particular product and you want to get funding, right? If you were going to a tax sale tomorrow and you go to this site and you find a lender that would possibly fund you going to buy at the tax sale, or would you just have to buy it outright at the tax sale, then come back to this capital passport and submit the deal
If
to
you're
get
doing a sale
lending?
like that, and it's like tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't heard too.
Not tomorrow. But like
Yeah,
if the if
I
the,
mean,
the
yeah. I mean, it just depends on which of these capital providers, what they
okay,
do.
okay,
It's still individualized. We've just tried to put as many as these
all
can,
right,
they can match
okay.
it.
I apologize. I'll get off to this
No,
topic and
no, I
let
totally
you.
appreciate it because I mean I'm trying to explain it to you guys. Like I said, all these apps, what you guys saw on my Netlify, these are all in zips. If anything you guys see in a zip file that's in the Facebook groups, the RCIC or the Private Money Associates, you guys can download at any time. They come with a PDF operator guide. They come with a full installation operator guide. Some pretty cool stuff. They're pretty detailed and they're easy to understand, and it comes with the system.
I keep running into these different, not keep running, but I've run into some of these gurus, not you of course, but some of these gurus that say once the deal is on paper that you have some type of contract, you'll then submit your deal to their system and then it'll match your deal with a buyer directly. And what you're saying is you have something called BuyBox or buy and sell that will do that also in RCIC.
Yeah, there's a couple different systems that we have in there because I built stuff that maybe a wholesaler is not going to probably need the full capital passport, right? Because they're going to be looking at EMD or they don't need to go in and try to, so there's like Market Dominator, Intel Mine are designed for those. There's a lot of a fully featured. I have a fully featured one, Deal Desk, which I was going to show you guys. But yeah, none of these are going to be like, because there's a lot of that. If you go through me, like if you were to go through our system directly to them, we kind of have to have a relationship with them. And so that's why I didn't, but it should be still it should be the same though. You shouldn't really notice any drop off between somebody who might have, they might have relationships with those lenders, and that's why they can do that direct. This is still going to give you guys more lenders because you got 1,382 of them, and you can add more. You can use, you guys, it shows you how to go and connect those two modules, and you go and connect them, and they're both in the Facebook group files as well. Once you do that, you can reach out. You can pretty much get this down to what's gonna meet your need and what's gonna meet your deal at the time. Because not every,
Right.
and so it just really should just make it a lot easier for you.
Okay. But most of the people that's in the group that's a part of RCIC, most of these guys are I'm assuming just fix and flippers that's trying to get funding to fix and flip.
Yeah. Well, there's some that are also, I mean, people do self-storage, people do multifamily. Well, it's all over the board. Because it's hard for me. Like one of the big things we've had, you guys saw me promoting last week that Kevin did Investor Fuels podcast. The only thing that we kind of got dinged on because they gave us like almost like they kind of, I'm not going to say it's triple A rated or whatever because they don't really do that. They kind of evaluate. We scored high at everything, on on what they came up with. The only thing was sometimes I don't know how to explain what RCIC is. Like I'm trying to get an elevator pitch down to 60 seconds or less, and I can't. I'm struggling with that myself, trying to get it down exactly what it is. The reason I've built a lot of these apps and these systems, that you guys will see in projects, because you see me doing is because we do have people across the board that do different things. Well, Neil's on right now. Neil's in RV parks. So I built a standalone. I've still got to do some touch up on him, but there's some, so somebody you may not need RV parks, but everything on here is designed is to put as much capital and passport type stuff for
Okay.
everything.
So Neil's in RV parks. What does Neil do with RV parks? Neil just buys a tax sale RV park.
Neil, do you want to
Hey
answer
Neil.
that? Yeah. You're on right now.
Hey Neil, how you doing? Hey, so with the RV park that you're involved in, like what's your, I don't mean to get off topic again with what Nate's teaching tonight, but I just got a quick question. With what you're doing with the RV parks, are you essentially buying them from a tax sale and then selling them to a actual buyer afterwards, or are you just trying to accumulate them?
I don't know if you were there. You would have heard it.
I didn't hear him.
No, I didn't hear. I don't know if he's. I'm trying to you guys this until mine thing.
All right, man. I'll fall back and let you repeat your question.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me kind of show you guys this until. Oh, there you go, Neil. So I built, RV parks. We do have that in RCIC, but like I said, if somebody's doing storage or it's just living, you may not, it's just living is really kind of interesting. This is the Intel Mine one that I talked about. This is what I was talking about as well. So this one will go out to like social media, real estate forums, like bigger packets connecting with, investors, Facebook, all that. It'll start pulling all the conversations in. It gives you a guide that basically tells you how to make all these changes. Like I said, it gets into motivated sellers, value add deals, all the off market hard money, private equity, foreclosure, DSCR, syndications. There's export, import for CSVs, PDFs, Excels, all that, Word documents. So you get into that stuff, but you also get into so you got Intel feed, then you got your workflow. I'm trying to show you guys navigation because you guys can go in here and really decide if you guys like this. If there's something, if you like, which ones you like, I want you to be able to match up. That's one of the best things you guys have is you guys can just kind of decide which one you like, what works better for you. So you got workflow, right? And you can go through it. It talks about the guide. When you activate this, it actually is pretty cool. The guide will actually walk you through here, building your active leads pipeline, urgency queue, capital sources. You guys, these are the, here I'm looking at distressed multifamily in Denver because I was programmed it in the training when I trained it on where I'm at to test everything. Here you can start looking at all your hard money rates. all your probate, here's your private equity deal flow, syndications. You guys can go through and start, up here you can put in your target. So let's see if I'm looking right now at what's my hard money rates. So you can guys go and change that. Right now, I just popped up instead of hard money bridge loans, and it talks about you in the guide and how to add this stuff in there so you guys can go execute this. So if I push execute, watch it for a second, it's going to start pulling all the information. Keep in mind this is all sample information. When you guys put Anthropic API and you've done your buy boxes and all that, that little search that it just showed you, like that little pop up was telling you to use API, it's going to then pop up all this information for you guys, all these leads. It's going to put all the stuff right on your screen. It's going to go out there and find, what lenders are out there. It's API is doing like a mass, like scraping. Everybody here knows, hears about scraping. I built this to mine. Like literally, let's just dig as deep as you can. You guys will be able to go out there and use this to do that. And that's what this is, the one called Intel Mine. So everybody can mix and match, decide what you like, what you need, what your needs are. Because like I said, Neil's in the RV parks. You may not be done. You may be using this other stuff. We do have some standalones. It's pretty, I try to make sure there's stuff for everybody. And then, like I said, let me show you guys the one. And this is the one I did because I bundled it. And keep in mind, you guys, like I said, you guys go to Facebook groups, everything here, you guys can just get whatever you want. It's pretty cool. It's yours. So you don't have to worry about like paying for it. Anything you guys already joined. You're already in. RCIC Systems is the thing, and all that is the company. But you guys go into the deal desk, right? This is the showroom for the deal desk, which I just put together. So now, when you guys are talking about Core, which is the GPT we started in, this now is actually, guess what this deal does? This is the one you guys should want, because what I did is I combined the Intel mine I just showed you guys. AHJ records is what we talked about on Core. There's Capital Passport. Pipeline is the buyers and sellers. So when you guys put in buyers and sellers, Don, you were asking about that. As far as matching. Well, I try to put everything into one place, so it just flows through all of them. That way, you don't have a separate Capital Passport. You don't have a separate Intel mine. Now you've got a one system, so I bundled it. This is the one you guys, everybody in the group should go ahead and just download and use if you guys are going to use one. And you guys go over here and it talks about, here's Intel mine, what I just showed you guys. But keep in mind, this is once you put in Anthropic, you put in API, this thing lights up. It's pretty sweet. So it's going to give you all this. Here you guys go. Here's all once you get your buy box in here, guess what? This is the kind of information you're going to be able to get on a property, on an opportunity. It's going to give you a score on the lead. It's going to give you the foreclosure file. There's a high equity possible, absentee owner. It's going to start putting all that information on the screen for you. And then, you guys can run it. This is Intel mine. You guys can drop in a CSV, a PDF, or scan it, and it'll turn into a scored intelligence card. You get the value of the equity, the mortgage balance, and a written deal thesis. That's already in there in the Intel mine. So now you guys go, and obviously those buttons become live once with API. You guys get an AHG. Now here's those record Jefferson County recorder, and it's going to pull in. This is Jefferson County, Tennessee. It's got Maricopa, Arizona, Cobb County, Georgia. This is going to give you all the information. Here's a verified record. It's going to show you the permits, any code violations, any liens. This is going to go and dig deeper than anything else out there. This is what VAs do. This is everything, guys. And this is why I built this, was to put all this into one place. Like I said, this is the showroom mode. It's read only. Just like everything else, guys, you'll see a little toggle to change to light mode. It's kind of, cool that way. You guys can go and change it to light mode. And then you guys get into, guess what? Now I got Capital Passport, like we just talked about. So now, once the deal is scored, Capital Passport matches it against every funding source, LTV, asset type, geography, and ranks it to fit. So there you guys go. You got your lenders, you got your hard money, you got your funds, you got your family offices. So you got Capital Passport in this one. Pipeline, guys, is every deal, every stage. Every deal lives on pipeline board from first contact to close. This is your CRM. Stalled stages get flagged automatically back on the dashboard. So it's going to talk about your new leads. There's Pinecrest Court. It's going to talk about that information. Contacted. Have you sent the offer? Under contract. Closed. Signal is this final step. Now you're going to do a single. It's going to start telling you the foreclosure was filed when, and the probate was open if there was a probate course. Signal is the always on watch foreclosure filings, probate, tax delinquency, the ownership changes. And so you guys can go through here and, to restart, you go back to the dashboard. That's where it starts, and you can go up here. You can actually go into questions. You can start running running as an AI assistant. This is incredible for that. And so if you guys go back to here to the projects, you go back here to what I have on Netlify. I'll show you guys kind of what let me show you guys what the operator guide looks like. What an operator guide looks like. So, the operator guide is going to walk you through everything. It's pretty cool. We got two versions of every operator guide. That way you guys can always, there's a PDF version. Everything, guys, I try to do for you guys and everybody, people learn in different ways. Some people are good at reading. Some people are better at the PDF. Some people are better, so I try to make sure there's a way for everybody here to absorb the information their way, not necessarily my way. So let me show you. I want to show you one more. I want to show you one of the operator guides real quick so you guys can see it. This is all yours. You guys can do whatever you want. Use it. Market Dominator. Let's see. So this says Market Dominator, guys. Here's that light mode. So there's a toggle. You'll see a little like a sun, or you'll see a banana, or you'll see a light bulb. There's like 3 different icons that are used. So this will actually find the top 10 opportunities in any market in 60 seconds or less. You go and market, Phoenix, zip codes. What zip codes do you want? You guys can go in. Here you go. All residential, multifamily 2 to 4, apartment 5+, vacant land. We can add anything else. We can add it. You can hunt now. You can go in. Here's your lead types: distressed, vacant, pre-foreclosure, absentee owner, high equity. How many results you want? The top 10 or you want the top 50? Opportunity score. And then you guys got your speed, deep scan. It's going to tell you to do a fast search in 30 seconds, a standard in 60 seconds, and then it'll do a deep scan in 3 minutes. It's pretty sweet. You get a skip tracing, guys. Select a lead. Now you put that lead in there. You can trace now. It's going to start skip tracing. Due diligence. Select a lead for due diligence. Property address. It's going to analyze it. Has to have API. Ask anything about your market, deals, or strategy. So going in with the top distressed neighborhoods in Phoenix right now, what's a good ARV strategy for 85015? You guys can go ahead. Your watch list is empty, but it talks about it. The operator guide walks you through all this. And you guys got your pipeline, deal pipeline. And of course, here's all the settings, guys. So you guys can go through and check it. This is where you put your Anthropic API key. You put that in there, you save settings. Guess what? Any of these that I'm showing you guys, the second you put in that Anthropic API key, it's like firing all the cylinders. Let me actually kind of show you guys that where that is. You guys go to Anthropic real quick. So this is Cloud Console. Let me go through real quick. Let me pull it back up. And it tells you every one of those tells you where to go for this. So you guys go. This is these are the keys. All these are the keys. And don't have to worry about because they all start with SK. It's really long. When you guys go get your API keys, put them somewhere safe. And you can regenerate it, guys. You can go in here and you can regenerate it, but that's where your keys are. You guys see I have $20. I have $20 here. That's what I put in there for. That's my API. So you guys see here's a search I just did. It's a penny. Guys, your API calls are 1 penny, 2 penny, 3 penny. So if you guys are running this, 30 days, 24/7, it may be $100. You guys nobody's ever going to do that. And you guys, so that's what you guys want to go with the Anthropic. So
Hey,
you guys
what Claude is this? The search is a penny. What are you paying for?
API. See right there.
Okay. So you got to pay your monthly 20 plus the API at a different cost?
API is different than tokens. It's not like,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not like like Codex for OpenAI or
Yeah.
this is, so
So
they're going to charge me a penny. That's my,
I need to get Claude Console API for this to work.
yeah, yeah, that's why everybody's, that's why I'm trying to go over this tonight.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I'll shut up. Go for it.
yeah, so see, my spend this month is one penny.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, the regular Claude is you got the $20 plan, then a
Well,
hundred
no, I'm
dollar
on the
plan.
$20 plan. I'm on the
Say it
20,
again.
and then I have $20 in my account. It's different
Thank
than
you.
for API is different than tokens.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm
We're
out.
not
I'm
we're not
be
using
quiet. Go for it,
tokens
man.
just to kind of clear
Okay.
up some
Yeah.
other, yeah. I
But
just,
even with this, you're building your agent with Claude Console with your separate API keys, and then deploying those API keys into the RCIC to do whatever particular agent work you want to do.
yeah, yeah, and it's only charging. That's what it's charging.
Goddamn.
It's
All right.
almost like you guys. I mean, it asks for a minimum of $20 to open that, and then after that, you can put on as little as $5. Don't hit auto right now, and you guys are never. I don't think. I mean, I think people could go in there and probably get it in a couple months because our strategy, guys, is using the core and GPT. Because the core and GPT do as much as you guys can in core, and you guys won't have to do very much. Then you could just go to you go to the other ones for anything you might need. On X. If you get stuck or something, you can go and use API on
Okay.
those apps. You can run skip tracing a lot deeper because, like I'm
Okay.
saying, man, they don't. It doesn't like it. OpenAI does not like the word scrape. So I don't know if you guys, I've tried, I think I've told people that a couple of times. It does not like scrape. So
I used a company called Outscraper to work for me before, but I didn't. Yeah,
yeah, there's a
they
lot of
didn't.
companies out there, but I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, what you guys have, what I've set you guys all up on, I think, I mean, 90% of what we're going to be using it for is going to be in the GPT, what we're in right now.
Okay.
Um, Everything else is, you guys can do it as an option. If you guys like something out there and you want to use, you want to use one of the apps, you want to use Capital Passport out there, because I can also tell you, you do have lender mode in RCIC Core, but you guys also know we have other GPTs. And so, like I said, I don't want to overwhelm everybody by like, hey, we got 7 GPTs. I want everybody to get core down. But guys, we have other the GPTs. And so you can go in and you can, we have 7 of them. So when you guys are out there doing them, it's pretty cool. You can see, we got Capital Passport. We got a different one for that. It's pretty sweet. Trying to get back to it real quick. So it's kind of cool. There's all my pen ones. But yeah, I get into, so Codex here is what it charges you for coding and stuff. The GPTs is like, it's pretty interesting. So you guys go, if you guys want Capital Passport or the GPTs, let me know. I can get that for you too. That goes a lot deeper. But reality, you guys really all need to be in. I mean, really just need to be in the GPT in the core. So, like I said, the ones you guys want to do is, you change RCIC mode. If you guys have already started, use deploy to Delta Suite. Guys, it walks you through everything. There's also is a PDF. I mean, it's buried in files. Build my distress deal playbook. Use that. Set up or update my boxes. Let me show you guys that one since I showed you the other two. This is where you guys, I mean, everybody, we're sending everybody at first. And you guys, I have 3 paths. So this one, guys, like you said, you guys can copy and paste this. There's your structured example on BuyBox. you go through here and you want to basically just, well, you can copy and paste that way. You can just copy it here, put it in your prompt bar, and it's copied. Now you got your structured example, right? Just leave that on your screen and just go through and fill this out. Fill it out down here on your screen before you send it. Copy and paste it again, send it, and then go open that project. So you guys see in projects over here, I got I got different ones for there's market guides. There's also, I got one for BuyBox. I got my markets. This is my markets. This is one you guys want to set up as well, because this will actually walk you through setting up your markets. So like if I have Maricopa County, Arizona, and I want Pima County, Arizona, I'm just going to enter that PDF here. And I'm just going to ask it to duplicate it for Pima County, Arizona. And it's going to duplicate that in like 60 seconds. And then you guys go back and you start plugging it in. You start training your markets. When you guys see where the Delta sweeps come back to, so here's the Delta sweep market deployment. When you guys start seeing that, this starts talking about the whole process, guys. There's acquisition pass, but you guys get into like the when I get into the chats, let me see real quick. Nationwide foreclosure. I get 15 of these reports a week, guys, generated by the Delta sweeps. So when you generate that, you guys will start seeing like this report. Coverage requested 50 RCIC target markets. I put 50 markets in last summer and I started trying to train it up. I'm trying to expand it nationally, but 6,513 zip codes. It'll trail 7 days. So you guys see here it goes. It starts talking about Adam. This is May already. So 40,355 U.S. properties of foreclosure filings. It gives you all that information, guys. I've got mine programmed for Adam. You guys can do that as well. You guys go with Texas leads the country in foreclosure starts. You got Cleveland, Baltimore, Tampa, Riverside, and Orlando. It walks you through all this, guys. There's Collin County, Bexar County, Harris, Fort Bend County. There's a lot of Houston, Dallas, Tarrant. You guys get in Philadelphia County. It walks you guys through all this. You guys see these are the off ramps and links. So when you guys deploy those Delta sweeps, it's going to generate these reports for you guys. And then you guys get you go to Dallas County, you go to the county clerk's reporting division, find foreclosure, you get those lists, then you start putting it in here. That list of maybe 50, go searching for the last 30 days. In Dallas, I don't know, it's going to be more than 50. Go plug it into your BuyBox and your markets and start generating hundreds of them. And that way it goes that fast. And then they go in your BuyBox. That's where you guys want to do this. It gives you guys your category signal. Everything walks through this. Here's zip codes and counties: Frisco, Princeton, McKinney, San Antonio, Philadelphia, PA. I get the top 25 actionable opportunities. This is here in Texas, but they're in Texas. San Antonio, Bexar. Guys, see, these are the off ramps, right? So now go and you can look at this Converse. You can go look at this in San Antonio. Let's go look at San Antonio. I have to do this a little bit just to make sure you guys can see it. There you guys go. There's the county clerk and recorder for Bexar County. There is the document number, mortgage, the address. Guys, go ahead and scan this whole thing in if that's your market. That's what you do. You go scan all these in. Basically, you can copy and paste them just like this, and go put them all in the system in your BuyBox and your markets, and have it run Delta Suite protocol. That's what you do, and then this thing turns. Look how many. This is Bexar County. Think about if you got 4th of 10. Here's your 2026 July 2026 mortgage and tax foreclosures. Look how many there are. You guys can go and copy and paste or just save this. Another way to do it is just, like I said, save it. Then go back to, let me just try to save it real quick. Now, let me go back to my Zoom. Let me go back here. And I'm going to just open a project, right? I'm just going to get a new project. Let me go 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I like to have a new one to begin with. And now I want to go through and open a new project on the plus. Okay. Okay, can you run Delta Sweep protocol? Bexar County. Yeah. Bexar. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to create the project. And they already start working as soon as I punch this in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add photos and files. You can also run as an agent. I've got my downloads. There you guys go. There it goes, July 26th. There you guys go. So I can take that whole list, 13 pages of foreclosure filings, by address, city, zip code, document number, and whether each filing is a mortgage or tax foreclosure. What would you like me to do? Run a Delta Sweep analysis and identify the highest opportunity properties, extract all properties into CSV or Excel spreadsheet, filter by zip code, city, neighborhood, or property type, separate mortgage foreclosures from tax foreclosures, identify repeat addresses, duplicate filings of commercial looking properties, rank opportunities by investment potential, map the properties geographically, compare this list with the previous list, generate RCIC intelligence report with market insights and hotspots. Guys, you do, that's what you do, and then you go in here and now you can have it go out there and just start running all those properties. So when you guys are looking, 13 pages, how many mortgage filings is foreclosure filings is that? It's gonna go through and start. Let me do this one. Now sometimes it doesn't happen right away, so I'm gonna have it run it. If I don't get it right now, I will basically get it to you guys because it may start running it. I'd run it in my markets or my BuyBox. There you guys go. It's running through the system right now. So you guys, I said this takes like 5 to 10 minutes. So you go do this like on a Monday, and every Monday you go through and pull a couple of your counties, put them in there. You start running by the end of the week. You guys have everything, comps pulled, ARV, all that stuff. 469 total filings, 13 tax foreclosures. There you guys go. There's your strongest zip clusters. Here's all your top opportunities, right? Well, I don't have my BuyBox set for this. Otherwise, it would actually then even go further. So you guys go through your target opportunities, zip type, why it matters. I'm looking at there's 15 of them. Immediate go, no go stack. It's going to have your first call list. It's going to have your zip hot zones to sweep harder. And then it's going to have your duplicate filings, opportunity signals, not clean deals. So you guys can go, separate these now, these zip codes. So now I want to sweep these. There you guys go. Now you go to now you just made that zip code. Now you like that zip code, right? Now you just got the 27 high priority targets in that zip code. So now you guys can go through and you can take these addresses and then you can even sweep them again. Here's another 27 filings. It's going to tell you there's a duplicate filing. It's going to save you time. Other strong targets. It gives you all these targets, guys. Mixed residential quarter plays, 21 filings. Investment thesis. It's going to tell you that. It's going to tell you a score. It's going to score it. Premium Northwest market. It gives you every zip code, guys. It's telling you what's going on in that market in that zip code. Then you guys punch that in, start pulling comps. It'll pull the ARV and all that stuff in Delta Sweep. It'll start skip tracing. And then you guys can go to what we'll show you tomorrow night, lender matching and capital passport. If you're not able to make tomorrow night, don't worry, the recording will be available Friday morning. Just to let you guys know. So here you go. Here's your tier 1. We just talked about it when you guys go through tier 1 and stuff. It's pretty sweet. tier 1 for Delta Suite. So it's pretty sweet, guys, what it does for you. I mean, it's just like I said, it's just really just probably the first 7 days and the first 30 days. Everybody here's been in it for a while. If you just do those couple things I just did right on the screen, guys, it didn't take very long to do that. Go through and ask, you build a market guide. If you're in Bexar or if you're in Dallas or Tarrant or Maricopa or wherever you're at, it happens that fast. You guys can start look at these. I mean, it's pretty sweet that way. So like tomorrow night, like I said, we're going to show you guys lender matching, capital passport, offer generation, where those are at in RCIC. And then next week, like I said, we're going to go over pretty cool shit. It's totally outside of real estate. It's optional. It doesn't cost you guys a penny to get into it. Most of you guys, if you're going to do Anthropic, if you're going to do Netlify the Anthropic for an app or two anyway, after you have 2 or 3, you're probably going to be paying Netlify $20 a month. I pay $20 a month. That's all I need. It's the max plan on there. You can host all 20 of our apps, but you guys host what we're going to show you next week. Some of the broker fees are 100,000 to mid 7 figures. The gentleman who's going to be on next week just helped fund a deal. His organization can do up to $500 million without syndication. They just did a $500 million deal. They paid the broker fee $5 million. So imagine now if you co-broker with us and you bring a deal like that in. Jesse, you guys know Jesse, my partner. Jesse's got a mine deal going right now. They just did the paperwork Monday and Tuesday. So yesterday and Monday, the mine paperwork will alone. We'll start paying our company, me and Kevin and Jesse and Paul. We'll start making probably 7 figures a year just off the mine. As soon as it's already owned by the people they GAV, they're basically funding to run the mine and to bring all the everything to the surface. So they do the joint venture with the mine owner, and Jesse's been in contact with the lady for like 2 years. She's been trying to get funding, and they're actually going out and raising the capital. So we're going to show you guys that next weekend, because I'd like to go and get $1 million payday, and you can put that into your real estate. You don't have to go and find lenders, or you could actually go find bigger deals. So we're going to show you guys that week. We're going to show you that next week. I know some of this goes fast, guys. I try to show you guys the navigation. And so on a one-on-one, if you guys want, because the one-on-one is going to be more specific. Like I said, you guys are doing like Neil's doing RV parks. Don, you may be doing something different. Some of the things that I'm going to show on these is the navigation. The one-on-ones we can do, I can actually dial into your business exactly and help you, basically escalate everything that I'm showing you guys. So as soon as we've done this, guys, we'll log out for the night. Tomorrow's going to be a little slow because then a lot of stuff I've been showing you guys tonight and stuff we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Tomorrow will be the first time most of you guys have seen what we're going to show. It's in there. Getting through offer generation, lender matching, capital passport, and all that. And then we'll break. We'll have the July 1st thing, what we just talked about. And then on July 8th and 9th, we're going to start doing this like deal desk. We're going to basically just run deal desk kind of stuff for the next all the time. So it's going to be a lot different, right? Lately, I was just trying to get everybody used to the navigation. Everybody learns at different points. Everybody's doing things that are different. It's just learning for you guys where to go. And then when you guys get need a little help, hit me up if you guys want to do a one-on-one. I'll have some time for one-on-ones in the next 2 weeks. And then my birthday's July 11th, so it's a Saturday, so I won't be doing anything on Saturday on the 11th. But and then obviously July 4th probably. But guys, next week's going to be awesome. You guys are going to be blown away by the kind of money you can make. And a lot of you guys don't have to go; just be passive. You guys are on Facebook and you see opportunities. You give them a link, they go put all the information, and it vets it. If it comes back and it's vetted and it's good, it's a good deal. we can get it to who you guys are gonna meet next week. Which one do you guys think is better? The one that's a guy or the one that's not the guy? It gives you a choice. I'm gonna use image one. There's actually a thing in the algorithm of YouTube that actually you guys kind of sometimes learn about. There you guys go. There's all the information. So let me go to title, description, tags. So like I said, if anybody wants to do one-on-one on your specific business, then we can dial in a core and get you all lined up and get this Delta Swift going for you. But try go through that, go to the Delta Swift protocols and kind of or or go to Distress the Deal playbook on your own and try to see, try to do it this weekend. I'll show you guys, like I said, offer prep, offer generation, lender matching, capital passport tomorrow night. Try to go through that over the weekend or over the break anyway, between now and July 8th. We'll try to set up your one-on-one before that. And then you guys should be rocking and rolling. It's pretty sweet that way. All right, guys. Anybody got anything else? We got a few people, Don, Matt, Neil, Reginald. You guys hit me up if you got any questions. You guys want to set up your one-on-ones. And like I said, they're specific towards you and your markets and what you're doing, your BuyBox. So my objective is you guys are fully operational by the time you guys have done the one-on-ones.
Yeah, we'll get together on that one-on-one.
Yeah, but like I said, do what you guys can go in and you can look at your markets and do the same thing I just showed. And like, how long did it take me? Like three to 5 minutes. Literally, you can go through and start plugging that in. You just basically are just returning the information and re-inputting the information. And then after you get it trained up and it's used to your counties and stuff, it's still gonna be, especially with GPT, but if you get an API, and it's like you may be like I told you today, you may be connecting to a fire hose. Because there's some people that are just it's never gonna turn off for. Then it's just going to your BuyBox and all your filtering through you. And that way, you get 1,000, you might only need, 20 deals might actually close out of that. So you want to get it down to the deals that'll close. All right, guys. I appreciate
send me a copy. Send me a copy of this in my email for me.
Of what?
To my email.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I always go back over it once we finish with the record.
Yeah, I'll process it in the morning. So probably about 8:30 my time, I'll have this, and then I'll have the links for tomorrow night by about 9.
That'll work.
Yeah. Sometimes I do it on the night. It just depends. It only takes so we spent an hour and 20 minutes. Like I haven't turned the recording off. I'm going to do that right now. Once I turn the recording off, it actually starts processing on Zoom, and it takes